Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. I'm so excited to spend this moment and time together where we get to connect in heart to heart. And we have the honor and the privilege of pouring into you. So I celebrate that you're leaning into you, that you said yes to being served, being supported, letting us pour into you. And today, as we're in March and we're looking back at the beginning of the year, we're looking ahead at the remainder of the year 2018 and beyond, it's great to think about how are we springing forward? How are we keeping that momentum going so that we can keep moving towards those things that matter most to us? And that's what we're going to be talking today about, and how to do it with ease. Now, I don't know how many of you out there are looking for things to be harder, more difficult, more challenging, or are you looking for how can I move forward in those things that matter to me with a little bit more ease and grace, knowing that I can pause, that I can be supported, and there can be an ease and a peace and a tranquility while I'm moving, while you're moving towards your success. That's what I would like. That's what I find when I'm out there talking with people that they're looking for. I want to move forward, but how can it be less difficult? How can I have a little more ease and sustain that movement forward in the areas that matter to me? And that's what we're bringing you today. So I hope you're excited and ready to receive. Let's take a deep breath and just let in that concept, that idea that we can have ease and peace and tranquility as we're moving forward powerfully. Let's take that in. Let's breathe. We were leading our event just last month. We had our Spring Forward event. We always have that in February. And one of the concepts we were talking about at that event was how to keep that forward momentum going, how to spring forward. And the idea that a lot of that work sometimes is actually what happens underground. If we think about plants and they're digging their roots in deep before they're ready to push through that surface and really soar and really grow powerfully. So there's a lot of that kind of underneath the surface that people don't always see that can help us have that growth. But if we forget to slow down, to let ourselves go deep, we can sometimes have roots that aren't quite strong enough to sustain the growth or the storm. And so part of us coming together on a weekly basis is to pause, check in on our roots. Do they need to dig in a little deeper? Do we have some things we need to clear out, make some room so that we can keep that growth going in our life in the way that we're made to be, the way that we're designed? And we even started talking about the concept of, I heard this in the movie Sweet Home Alabama, where one of the characters says to the other, you can have roots and wings. And I think that's a really profound thought, that we can have those roots and dig deep, and that allows us to soar. That allows us to fly and shine powerfully in our life. That they're not mutually exclusive. They're actually they need to be woven together. So today I want you to think about, how are your roots? And how is your soaring? How's that looking? Are you moving forward, springing forward in those areas that matter most to you? And are you feeling an ease and a peace around it? Just kind of check in. Take a moment, pause, breathe, and just see. We're just looking. It's important to kind of know where we are in these things, and if we want to shift, if we want to move in a direction, if we would like to have perhaps a little more peace. Perhaps we feel like we need a little more strength in the roots, a little more clarity. Remembering that we can keep moving forward, that we can spring forward. I feel like we are far more powerful than we know. And it's sometimes in that slowing down that we can tap into that and be supported and move forward in powerful ways. Our guests today, one of them is going to really help us with this stress management and tapping into that peace and that tranquility to support us, that slowing down and pausing. And then the other is going to talk about how we can remove some of these blocks that perhaps are holding us back so that we can step into our success, into our wealth. And just think about if we can remove some of those blocks, there's more ease in moving forward, building these components into our life so we can soar. Oh, as we feel into this and we see where we're at in this, I want you to know that you're here for a reason. It's not an accident you tuned into the show today. There is something here for you. And I want you to be able to get the most out of our time together. So I'm going to invite you to be fully present, not just present in body, fully present, ready to receive exactly what is here for you today. So I'm going to invite you to resist the urge to run off and do different things during our commercial breaks and get distracted and start multitasking. As much as possible, be present so you can fully receive everything that is here for you today. Does that sound good? I'm picturing you nodding and smiling. Good. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe, both hands on the wheels, no texting and driving, inwardly tuning in. But those of you who are able to, I invite you to put both feet on the floor. Feel it supporting you. Picture your roots going deep. And put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing all of you in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And take a breath in through the nose, all the way to your belly. Expand your belly. See how big you can make it. And then out through your mouth, like through a straw. Beautiful. Take another breath and close your eyes this time. You're safe. Beautiful. Good. Keep breathing. This is a way for us to become present, to reduce stress, lower our cortisol levels, become connected, mind, body, soul, and spirit, so that we can hear and receive. So in this space and time as we connect heart to heart with our breath, what is it that you need today that will encourage you, keep breathing, empower you, perhaps bring more ease and peace, and help you move towards your success? What is it that you need? Just receive that information. It can come in a knowing, a reminder, a picture, a phrase, a sound, all different types of ways information comes to us. And as you're receiving this information, I want to add one more piece to this. So not only is it what you need, but also are willing to receive. Not being attached to the how. We're not talking about the how. We're talking about what is it that you need and are willing to receive, because we have choice. Great. Just see if that shifts your information a little bit. Great. And then come back into the room. Eyes open, fully present. Take another big breath. Wonderful. And I invite you to write down the information that you received. Let's keep it top of mind exactly what it is that you need and are willing to receive, so that you're actively on the lookout. You're keeping it top of mind, open and ready in whatever form it comes to receive exactly what will support you and moving forward. It's so easy to get distracted and forget when that information or that solution's right in front of us. So I want you to keep it top of mind and be looking with anticipation for that very support that you need to help you move forward in those areas that matter most to you. Great. One more breath. Wonderful. We're going to go around our virtual room here and connect in on a heart level with our two amazing guest experts. And I'm going to have them each share just a brief share, 20, 30 seconds, when they went in and felt in with their heart, something that was laid on their heart that they want to share. So, Misty, did you have something laid on your heart that you wanted to bring forward today?
Yes. It's amazing how, martial artists go through years and years of training for various things. And this is what I would like to say. I believe that all people really are martial artists of their destiny. And there's two things that masters must do. And this is what I want to encourage you guys to do. And that is to master the breath and master the silence. And so master your breath basically by learning how to effectively use deep breathing, and master silence might be meditation that might occur in your life.
Beautiful. So mastering the breath and that silence too. And it's really hard to listen if we're not being quiet. And it's okay to just be in the silence. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And Dr. Sandra, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
What came to mind for me was the idea of inspiring women and reminding women that we need to let ourselves flow in our lives. We don't need to push the river. We're taught by the male models of success that you're supposed to push, you're supposed to work really hard, you're supposed to figure it out. And as women, I really don't think that works for us, and it's so much better and so much more fulfilling, and in my experience, so much easier to just stay open to how your intuition is wanting to guide you, and just allow yourself to flow with that. What are you inspired to do? Don't do what you think. Yeah, I
love this, and allowing ourselves. I mean, it just feels so different to allow ourselves to go with the flow instead of always having to push or make things happen a certain way. I love that reminder. And so I'm going to invite everybody through our time here today. Go with the flow. Pause, breathe, and receive. There may be times to be silent and listen, and to know that we've got you. And you can just go with the flow today and receive. Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Sandra, for sharing. I appreciate that. And listeners, we are getting ready to transition into a moment where you get to process and breathe. One of the things I think is really powerful is to allow ourselves the opportunity to process things, to integrate them into our bodies, into our lives on a cellular level. And that takes that slowing down, pausing for a moment, and receiving and breathing and processing. So as we go into this first commercial break, it's actually a 2-minute moment just for you. It's a time for you to be still, to receive, see what's being spoken into your heart and spirit, and process, integrate on a cellular level. You're going to have moments throughout our time together today to do this. And that way, by the end of our show, by the end of our time together, you've integrated so many powerful things into your heart, into your life, so that you can go back out into that world in a really powerful way. So really give yourself the gift of these next 2 minutes, and we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
For women, the pressure to achieve is stronger, the work hours longer, and the struggle for respect and authority more complex than ever. You want guidance on how to succeed, and you are not alone. You're invited to take your coffee break with Game Changers on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern for our special series, Game Changing Women. Powerful women leaders will help you make sense of it all, analyze how you can change the game, and share their playbooks. Game Changing Women, presented by SAP on the Business Channel.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Should there be more to your life? Do you need a change? Transformation for Success with Dr. Barbara Young will provide empowering commentary each week to encourage you. She will interview successful personalities from movies, television, business, technology, health, and academia. All of them have amazing stories resulting in transformed lives. You'll learn how to discover real happiness, financial success, and fulfillment to live your highest purpose. Join her on Tuesdays at 12 noon Pacific Time and 3 p.m. Eastern on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, and a replay Fridays at 12 noon Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. Pausing, breathing, integrating. Beautiful. One breath, one pause at a time. And as we continue our conversation, I wanted to dig in deeper to the amazing pool of wisdom and expertise that we have with our guest today. And I wanted to start talking about stress and tranquility, which I think will really set the stage powerfully for us, because many of us have a lot of dynamics pulling on us in life. So we're going to talk about that and give you some great tools to support you. But let me introduce our guest expert just a little bit more formally. So Miste is a master certified life coach, international best-selling author. She's known as the Peace, Calm, and Tranquility Coach, second-degree black belt in karate, All-American in track, Tai Chi teacher, and she's absolutely passionate about helping others manage their stress and embrace tranquility. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Miste Anders Clemens to the show. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It is a pleasure and an honor to be in your presence.
Well, you are so welcome, and we're excited to have this conversation about stress and tranquility and how do we manage all of that. So I'm very glad to have you joining us, and I know we're in for a treat here today. So thank you for being here.
Oh, no problem. No problem at all.
And I'd love to, before we get into our conversation about peace and tranquility, I'm just really enjoying saying tranquility today.
Yes, it's one of my favorite words, too.
It feels so good. But I'd love for you to share a little bit about why. Why is this work about helping people be able to manage stress and really step into their tranquility? Why is that personally so important to you?
Wow, I have been on this earth for over 50 years, and one thing I've discovered in the midst of everything, in the midst of going to college, in the midst of being a national competitor in high school, national competitor in college, and a martial artist, a mom, and more recently, certainly a grandmom, and a present-day hula and Tahitian dancer. One thing I have found is there really, truly is stress in everything. There really can be. And I have discovered, and I just said, I am not going to let any of this get to me. And so I just really everything I could find about stress reduction, I've been doing for over 20 or 30 years, roughly now. And so I it started off selfishly, to be honest. And then I saw, how could I reduce my stress? That's how it started off. And then later on it came to be, what do I have to offer the world, and what is my life purpose? And I looked at, what have I been doing? What do I have that could bring, help people get to their greatness, and stress reduction, helping them with that, and stressless living. Boom, that's exactly what came up.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing. And I appreciate that, because many of the things that we get to bring to the world are things that we were mystified by, or we were on a mission to discover because of our own need, and then it can make such a difference. We are gifted and motivated to bring that to others. So I love that you're walking your talk here, and you've been on that journey, and it's made a big difference in all the different phases of life that you've gone through. And I know part of a stress reduction, part of that journey has to do with this breathing. And you even opened talking about that breath and the silence. Yeah. So why is breathing, particularly deep breathing, why is that so important?
There is a lot of technical studies about it, but basically, generally, when you deep breathe, more oxygen gets to your brain. The more oxygen you have, really, truly, the more effective you can be, the more relaxed you can be. The less, obviously, would be the opposite of that, right? But certainly, those are some things that we have found with deep breathing that is hugely, hugely effective. And especially in critical time frames for people, deep breathing can be very impactful. It can be, I remember, unfortunately, grieving the loss of a grandchild. And one of the deepest things that kept coming to my mind was, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. And so certainly breathing is so pinnacle. And I can remember even being at the top pinnacle of joy and happiness, being married, or being at a podium, being given an award, and still the same principle was there. Yes. Okay, just breathe, just breathe. And so really, truly, breathing is of the essence. It is wonderful. Really, truly
Thank you for sharing. And I love how you opened, because sometimes we make things so complicated. And you're like, I love how you said it gets more air to your oxygens and your brain, to your cells in your brain. Like, that's what it does. And it helps you be more effective, be present, and process, and how it can play out so powerfully in those highs in life and lows in life. So thank you. So we want to build in that breath, giving ourselves a moment to breathe, and just breathe. Like, that's enough in some of those moments, and will help us move forward by pausing and breathing. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing about that and reminding us to really pause and breathe, and how important that is to be able to integrate everything and bring oxygen to our brain. So really, really valuable to incorporate that into our life. And I wanted to make sure, because our time is going so quickly, that we touch on and talk about tranquility and stress management. Oh, let's start with the stress. When I know you specialize in creating this really unique thing called a stress living lifestyle plan. Can you explain what that is and why that's important to us?
Yes, I call it a stressless living life plan. Mm-hmm. And I think the most interesting thing about it is it's unique and personalized to each individual. And so I was talking with one of my clients, and she loves to line dance. She does full line dancing. And so that was an integral piece in relation to the physical component for her stressless living lifestyle plan. But I wouldn't suggest that to, like, my other client, Aaron, let's say. I wouldn't mention that to him because that wouldn't be relevant for him as an individual. And so it does go on the basis of spiritual aspects. It does go on the basis of physical exercise, depend on the individual and what may be unique for them, as well as meditation and other techniques that I share with them, and the integration at different times in their life for it.
And it sounds like, I just was going back to the example that you shared, that in the line dancing example would actually probably cause stress for Aaron versus bringing less stress into his life. That it's really a plan that's tailored to the individual. This is what I'm hearing as you're sharing. Tailored to the individual to help them manage stress throughout their life and bring them to a stressless place. That it's a way to incorporate different tools and ways throughout their life to bring them to that place of peace and tranquility. Is that a fair statement?
That is totally true. Exactly.
Great. I love this. And listeners, I want you to think about this for a moment. We have plans for so many things. I'm Rebecca Hall Gruyter. I love to build plans. Perhaps you are like that as well, and goals. But I think we don't always have a plan how to manage stress and bring us back to that centered place. And I think this is a really good thing to give pause about and think, do you have that? Do you have a plan and a strategy for when, not if, we get into a stressed space that can bring us back to center? So I think this is really beautiful work that you do. And I would love for you to share about a way for us to embrace tranquility.
Wow, that can be on so many different levels. I think one of the biggest ways to embrace tranquility is to embrace yourself. Self-love for yourself, and the respect and honor of yourself, and creating time frames to do just that. And I think, and that's where the uniqueness comes in, and in that can be tranquility. Let me give you an example.
Yeah, please.
I love writing. I love writing. For me, it is a peaceable time frame, and it does create a sense of tranquility for me. I love meditation. That does create a sense of tranquility for me. And so certainly it can be individual. They can be at different time frames. But tranquility is, I think, first and foremost, the honor and the respect of yourself as a person.
And it sounds like it's giving you that feeling of peace, that feeling of joy. If it's something that you love that releases those endorphins, it sounds like tranquility is tapping into all of those things. So there's a level of peace. But it sounds like there's also this level of nourishment and joy and support that comes into that. Is that true?
I believe that's wholeheartedly true. And therefore, and in those moments, I think create tranquility for each individual. I mean, there are things that help, that can be helpful. Like, I love the integration of candles and essential oils when I'm writing or meditating, so certainly those things can even make an environment even more tranquil. And at times when I really can afford it or whatever, I like to go to my local spa and do my meditation then, so that even maybe even more helpful in developing that tranquility also.
Beautiful. So having tools to kind of support us and environments that can support us in that. Wonderful. Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing your heart and your wisdom with us today. And listeners, as we get ready to go into our next 2-minute moment, our next commercial break, I want to invite you to pause, breathe, give yourself the opportunity to have this moment of tranquility, to let yourself bring more oxygen in, receive what's being spoken into your heart, and perhaps explore, do you have a stressless plan, something to help you bring yourself back to center? And maybe explore one more piece you could add to that to support you in your peace, in your tranquility, and your success, knowing that you're supported. So with that, enjoy these next rich, rich, I want to say multiple words, rich and tranquil time to support you. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit VoiceAmerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit Facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoy those 2 rich moments, those 2 rich minutes of pausing and breathing, bringing in that rich oxygen, and really preparing yourself for the day and for having that tranquil life. And we want to add more. So we're adding how to not only have a tranquil, peaceful life, have that tranquility, but also how to move forward in your success with ease, removing blocks. So let's take a breath, get ready to receive as I introduce our next amazing expert. Dr. Sandra Camacho is an auric field expert, intuitive business coach. She has a background in the healthcare field as a registered nurse and a chiropractor, and is a workshop leader, speaker, facilitator, and absolutely passionate about helping you release cultural programming so that you can create the business and life that you love. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Dr. Sandra Camacho to the show. Welcome!
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm very happy to be here. Lovely to be here.
Excited to have you. I hope you could feel my arms up in the air. Welcoming you in. So full celebration. And I would love to start our conversation with why. Why is this work of helping people release that programming personally so important to you and helping them really have the life they love? Why does that matter to you?
Well, when I was younger, I struggled for so long to create success in my life, and I realized that so much of my blocks were stemming from cultural programming, were stemming from these beliefs that I got being raised as a girl about things that were and were not okay, and were really limiting me in my ability to create success. And it finally dawned on me that, I was just holding myself back on so many levels. So I discovered a way of removing these blocks and clearing them out of my energy system, and my life immediately began to improve. And in 3 years, I really manifested my ideal life and a business that I love. And I love empowering women and helping them release these blocks so that they can just flow and create the life that they love and create more success in their life.
I love that. And if we think about how we were talking in the beginning, and this is what was laid on your heart, that flow, and we think about a river or a stream or a brook that's flowing and moving, when you remove those blocks, it can flow more easily. And to me, it feels and sounds like you're removing those blocks, those things that could be backing up things or making things more difficult and to navigate. And when we remove them, there's that flow and ease that we can just step forward in. So I love how that's fitting together. And listeners, for anyone that was nervous about what this removing this block thing is, this is what it's about. It's removing those things so everything flows more easily and you can step into your power and your greatness. And I love that you have experienced that and are on a mission to now bring that and help other women step into their success by removing those blocks. So thank you for the work that you do and your willingness to share it with all of us today.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm excited about sharing it.
Beautiful. Now, I want to start with some kind of basics so we're all on the same page and not assuming what the auric field is and some of these things are. So can you share with us what is an aura and what does it have to do with creating our wealth and success?
Sure. Your aura is the energy field that makes up who you are. It's the energy that attracts what you experience in your personal world. You could call it your energetic vibration. And you manifest into your life what's resonating with your aura, with your personal energetic vibration. So really all you need to do, I know this sounds deceptively simple, but it's absolutely true. The only thing you need to do to manifest wealth and success is to raise your energetic vibration so that it's vibrating with wealth and success. And you do that by releasing all the things that are lowering your vibration. What are those things? Those things are the subconscious blocks, the cultural programming, and the limiting beliefs. And these things actually show up as dark patches in your aura. People like me who can see the aura, we see these things in the aura, and they look like dark areas. So it's literally where you're not shining your light. And because it's absolutely true. You talk about shining your light. When someone's shining their light, their soul's energy is shining out into the world, and their clients find them. All the people that are meant to support them find them very easily. But when we're blocked, we're kind of in the shadows. And so removing the blocks literally allows your energy to flow out into the world and start manifesting and attracting those things that you want in your life, your heart's desire.
And can you give, so this is, I love the example that you're giving and about light and how those things show up as dark patches. Can you give an example? I was thinking for some of our listeners that this may be a new thing to consider. Can you share what one of those limiting beliefs or blocks, what one of those things could be that could then be removed, or light could be shined on and it could be released?
Well, the biggest block, that women have, and this is the number one, and I see this with all women I work with, is fear of their own power. you know. And so it's just something to really think about as a woman. Whenever you feel like maybe you're not smart enough, or you're not good enough, or maybe it's not okay to do something, it's selfish. When you if you can really reframe that in your mind as, I'm afraid of being this powerful. And sometimes that really helps you, because we're really drilling down to truth, because women have received this programming over millennia that it's really kind of like not okay to shine as bright as men in the world. Yeah. And to remove that is just realizing what's really going on here. And then when we really allow ourselves to embrace that fear, that's the first step of releasing it. It's okay for me to be this powerful. It's okay for me to shine my light. You know what they say, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. It's exactly like that.
Exactly. No, and we're going to come back, and I want us to share that again. But listeners, I want you to just pause for a moment, and let's repeat this. It's okay to be powerful. It's okay to shine. And in fact, let's say this together. I am, so not Rebecca, you. I am powerful. I get to shine. Let's breathe that in. And see how it feels. Maybe that fear is lurking under there. Maybe that was a release for you, but really claiming your power, knowing we are all here connected, heart, soul, and spirit, supporting you in that, embracing your greatness. You're absolutely needed in the world. And I want to go back, Dr. Sandra. I know you were starting to quote a powerful quote there, so I'd love for you to share that quote.
Oh, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful. I'm sorry, I don't know if I have the exact quote.
but that's the essence.
And I think it was the person who said it. Mm-hmm. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond beyond what we know, or something to that effect.
Yeah. And I just want us to breathe that in and hear that. Because sometimes we forget, or we think we're the only one thinking about these things or struggling with these things. And I think this is a really important conversation to have and to share light on that. And it's key, if we're going to step into our power and our success and our wealth, is to be willing to release those things that are not serving and to shine our light. And I love the example, Dr. Sandra, you shared about what you see when you look at that aura and you can see those dark things that are holding back that light. I think that's such a powerful, and what a gift that you're able to do that and see that and help people in that way. Oh, I know that you have, there's so much I want to talk to you about, and our time is going so fast. Oh, let me move us forward and have you share about your amazing gift, because I know you've prepared something really special for our listeners, and I want to make sure you have an opportunity to share about it with them today. So tell us about your amazing gift.
Okay, great. So my free gift is the Inner Wealth Toolkit, and the Inner Wealth Toolkit is based on my work with the auric field. It's a toolkit that allows you to identify those hidden blocks that you may not even realize that you have that are holding you back, to identify them and release them using an energy healing method, so that you can raise your vibration so that you more easily attract wealth and success into your life.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for this amazing gift to help us identify, because we may or may not recognize that we have some blocks. So what a gift to be able to not only identify, but have some support to release them. Thank you for sharing about this and making this gift available to our listeners today.
Oh, you're welcome. I love being able to share this with women.
Beautiful. And listeners, I want you to be able to access this amazing gift. So I'm going to take a moment and share with you how to find this gift that she has prepared so lovingly for you. Oh, as we get ready to go to our next commercial break, I want you to pause for a moment. Take a breath. And just feel into what has been shared during this segment. And perhaps it would be of high value to discover if you had some of these limiting beliefs or blocks and getting support in how to release them. So here's what you do. You go to radiogifts.net, like a net full of multiple gifts, radiogifts.net. And you enter your name and email address so we can stay in touch. And then scroll down to today's date, which is March 13th. You'll see Sandra's lovely picture, so Dr. Sandra's lovely picture, and the description of her gift. And you simply say, yes, I would like this gift. Put your name and email address so she can get that over to you, and then make sure to lean into using it. So I invite you during these next 2 minutes to pause, breathe, lean in, and then make sure to come back for our exciting closing segment. We've got some more great stuff for you. We'll talk to you in just a moment.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
For women, the pressure to achieve is stronger, the work hours longer, and the struggle for respect and authority more complex than ever. You want guidance on how to succeed, and you are not alone. You're invited to take your coffee break with Game Changers on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern for our special series, Game Changing Women. Powerful women leaders will help you make sense of it all, analyze how you can change the game, and share their playbooks. Game Changing Women, presented by SAP on the Business Channel.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit VoiceAmerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Should there be more to your life? Do you need a change? Transformation for Success with Dr. Barbara Young will provide empowering commentary each week to encourage you. She will interview successful personalities from movies, television, business, technology, health, and academia. All of them have amazing stories, resulting in transformed lives. You'll learn how to discover real happiness, financial success, and fulfillment to live your highest purpose. Join her on Tuesdays at 12 noon Pacific Time and 3 p.m. Eastern on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, and a replay Fridays at 12 noon Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit Facebook.com/Voice America.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and you leaned into that amazing supportive gift that Dr. Sandra has made available to you. Again, if you were enjoying those 2 minutes and didn't write down where to go, I want to make sure you have that information. You go to radiogifts.net, and actually while you're there, you're going to see a whole library of tools and resources that you can lean into. So I invite you to say yes to as many of them as call your heart and your spirit. They are all there for you to support you on your journey to live on purpose and with great purpose. But to find Sandra's, Dr. Sandra's, you want to go to the March 13th date. Great. So let's take a breath as we all connect back in with each other. And actually, we even have another place that you can get continued support as well. I was just thinking as we connect in here, I want to let you know of another library of support. So we have the radiogifts.net, and we also have a television network that we've collected powerful programming, both audio and visual, to support you on your journey. So I want to make sure you know about that as well. And we have a banner. You can click the banner and it'll take you there, but just so you have the URL, it's RHG, my initials, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, RHG TV, like television, TV Network.com, rhgtvnetwork.com, and you'll find some powerful transformational programming with amazing experts pouring into you, just like what you're experiencing today. So I want you to know we have lots of resources to help equip and empower you on your journey. And behind the scenes, I talked to Misty and Dr. Sandra, and I invited them to share one more piece of advice or tip to support you on your journey. We've had this powerful time together, and as you get back to going back out into the world, I wanted them to share something that you can take with you and bring forward with you. So, Misty, I'd love for you to share.
So basically, in every morning and every evening, I would encourage you to do what I call a meditation of intention. And it can be something as brief as 30 seconds long, and breathe into your intention and take that with you throughout your day.
Wonderful. So you can get support for your intentions and bringing them into reality every single day. Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that share and that practical way to do that. I believe we need that. We need guidance and direction, that practical and that profound that we can bring forward. So beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And Dr. Sandra, how about you? What's on your heart that you want to share with our listeners?
Well, I want to remind women to honor their own heart's wisdom, because our heart is really the link to our higher guidance that's there to support us in creating our most fulfilling and abundant life. And how we hear that is by being compassionate with ourselves and really letting ourselves take those actions that feel good and that feel inspired, and give yourself permission to do that. Get out of the should mode. Do what you feel inspired to do.
Shoulds are not very empowering. Shoulds and have-tos. much more empowering in choosing and listening. So I love that. So right now we release all the shoulds. I should, I have to. Just poof, they're gone, okay? We're going to step into I choose, and I love what you're inviting us to do. Choose to listen to our heart and just embrace that wisdom that's there. Now, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I'm really touched by this because I myself, there are times where I'm going, oh, I have to, and I instantly stop that thought. And I go, no. I choose to do this. I choose to do that instead of that should and have to. So that's going to be my tip is just if you hear those words coming out of your mouth or you're even thinking them, stop for a moment and rewire that, change that comment, change what you're telling yourself, that you're choosing to do that. It's a much more empowering way to be. Oh, listen to your heart. Take those moments to pause and bring your intentions into reality, giving them that loving attention and support in the beginning and ending of the day. Listen to your heart, honor that, and release those shoulds. I invite you to release them. Beautiful. Because each of you are powerful, needed, made for such a time as this. You are gifted in such incredible ways and absolutely needed in the world. Now, I want to invite you to be willing to choose to shine, choose to share the gift of who you are with the world. Be that light that shines, that encourages, that lifts others up. And remember to be able to sustain that shine, to soar, to have those wings, have that root, have that tranquility supporting you, that pausing, that breathing, and that receiving. So that wherever you go, whatever you do, may you always be willing to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have an amazing day, everyone. I look forward to talking to you next week. Keep shining and keep sharing.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.